Once upon a time, Steam was a very hard storefront to be a part of. If you were lucky enough to get your game on Steam, it was going to be a success more often than not. That's just the way it was. Steam was like an exclusive club only for successful people that also happened to make the people successful itself. But eventually Steam realized that they needed something more. They needed to be a little friendlier to indie developers and allow them a chance to get on the storefront themselves if they deserved it. So enters Steam Greenlight. While an okay idea and coming from a good place, it was never able to become what Steam wanted it to be. It quickly found itself with an overflow of just hot garbage. Before too long, developers who have really no right promoting their game, perhaps because they don't know the first thing about game development and figured it would be a good idea to put their very first game with no prior art or coding or design knowledge behind them, they decided it's a good idea to put that game on Steam. So they put their game on Greenlight and hoped to get votes. But even Greenlight in its inception was relatively hard to get all the way through, but the longer it was around, something happened. Eventually Steam started allowing more and more games in, and then at one point they just basically opened the floodgates. It was almost so much that if you were on Greenlight, you were going to get in. There was a little bit of a threshold to pass, but there was sort of a black market that erupted around Greenlight itself. There were companies that were selling votes and then trading keys for votes, and it just became a big mess. Then you follow that up with the ability to put trading cards on any game and then get a kickback for people selling your trading cards, and you just have a recipe for disaster. On top of all that, there are some developers that get in this way that are less than professional. Let's put it that way, less than professional. They tend to fall under the bucket of either baby's first shipped game, or game engine asset flip meant to make a quick buck through initial sales and card sales, or C, legitimately bad developers with an even worse sense of PR. In the past, Steam has shown absolutely no interest in regulating any of this. Some of these less than professional game developers with these awful games would then go to YouTube and find YouTubers who just trash the game. Whether it's a review or a first impression or a let's play, if it had an unfavorable view of the game, occasionally these unprofessional game developers would file a DMCA takedown against the YouTuber, giving them a copyright strike on their account, which is very bad for those of you who don't know. 3 of those, your channel is gone. But in addition to that, they would pay for favorable reviews, they would delete criticism off of their own forums on Steam, and just all sorts of shady crap. And in one specific case, a YouTuber got sued for, was it $12 million? I mean, granted, the case didn't actually go anywhere, but the YouTuber was forced to lawyer up and spend a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of stress on managing that. All because some game developer couldn't stand his games getting critiqued, couldn't stand his business practices getting critiqued. Steam is aware of all of this, and in the past they've shown absolutely no interest in getting their hands dirty with any of this, unless they absolutely have to. So imagine my surprise when I log on YouTube and I see a video from TotalBiscuit and a video from Jim Sterling, where they talk about how they were invited to Valve to go talk about the state of Steam, the state of the Steam curator system, the state of these games that I just spoke about just now, and the changes that Steam is planning to enact to hopefully make all of this better. Now I'm just going to give you some very quick paraphrases of what's going on here, so if you want to take a longer, more in-depth look from the people who were there themselves, I advise you to go into the description below and click on the links to their channels. TotalBiscuit's is like an hour long, Jim Sterling's is like 20 minutes long. They're both worth a watch, especially if you're interested in the future of Steam. Anyway, first, you're probably already aware that Steam Greenlight is going away, and they're bringing in something called Steam Direct, where you just pay and you're on the storefront. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom. No Greenlight, no votes, you're just on the storefront. And what this means is that it doesn't matter how good your game is. If you have the money, you're going to be able to get on the storefront. Of course, this has its goods and its bads, and chances are pretty high that we'll see just as much garbage come in as there has been in the past couple years, if not more. But apparently Steam believes that their discovery algorithm is good enough to filter it out. And what they want is to be very transparent with their discovery algorithm. So if you see a game in your discovery queue as you're just digging through looking for new games, what they want is to tell you exactly why the game was recommended to you. It's because you played a lot of games with these tags, it's because your friends played games with these tags, and stuff like that. So chances are you'll never see these crap games because the discovery queue is going to filter them out. But then you have to wonder, how are you supposed to find gems? How are you supposed to find diamonds that are buried deep in this pile of filth? Well, Steam has an answer for that too, and they call it Steam Explorers, which I guess is a fitting name. It's almost like you're exploring a jungle looking for the hidden treasure. And if you find treasure, you give it an upvote, and if it gets enough upvotes, it has a chance to be discovered more often, and it has a chance to maybe even get featured on Steam's front page, which is a big deal. There's talks about offering incentives, which frankly I think it kind of needs. Otherwise, why would people want to willingly wade through the garbage to maybe, hopefully, find something that's half decent, and maybe once in a lifetime find something that's just a true masterpiece? I don't know, it doesn't seem like something that I would want to waste my time and or money on. And speaking of filth and trash and waste of storefront space, the games that are just asset flips or just there for getting a kickback through the card purchase and sell system, Steam is very aware of those. In the past, Steam has said stuff like, well, what is a bad game? And one man's trash is another man's treasure. But then you have games that are just pure asset flips, pure cynical garbage that's just literally meant to make a quick buck through either buying cheap assets off of the Unity store and then publishing that as a full game, and using that quick development time to then put cards on the game, which people will just buy the game so they can buy the cards because they have some sort of addiction to Steam cards for some reason. I really don't understand it myself, but it's become a viable business model for these people, and Steam is very aware of this. And apparently they call them fake games, and they're actually very interested in completely discouraging these people with their new systems, which I think is one of the more exciting things. Are they going to go away completely? No, but their business model is going to be very hamstrung by whatever Steam is going to implement. Hopefully, ideally. I'll reserve my judgment for whenever it actually happens. Another thing that's only slightly related to these bad games is Steam's curator system, where people can recommend games. It's like you go to a physical store and pick up a physical copy of a physical game. It's a good joke, right? And you look on the back of the box, and there's some quotes from like Game Informer or IGN or something. And it's like a synopsis of a review or something. That's what the curator system is. It's like that. But of course, because it's in software, there's a way to make it better. There's a way to make it more powerful, and there's a way to make it more meaningful. And TotalBiscuit, while he was there, he was very interested in the whole Steam curator system and how that works and to make it better. And from the sounds of it, Steam wants to make it better too. Especially since TotalBiscuit was there and was like, hey, this is crap, can you make it not crap? And they're like, yeah, sure, it's a good idea. So I'm hoping in the coming months, the Steam curator system will see some updates. It'll see some more robustness, more ease of use, more visibility on the storefront, because frankly, I don't even see them anymore, even from curators that I know, that I follow. I've always thought it was an interesting system from the get-go, and unfortunately, because Steam just implemented it and then pretty much stopped caring about it, most curators also stopped caring about it. I've been with Steam since its early days, almost since its inception. Hell, my username is my email address from when I was in junior high. That's how old my account is. So it's been pretty cool to watch it grow, and it's been pretty interesting to watch them just close off and then become the PC storefront that everybody goes to. So I'm really interested in seeing that they're starting to open up some more. They invited a bunch of press, including Valve News Network, for some extended interviews at the beginning of the year. And then just recently, they invited TotalBiscuit and Jim Sterling to talk about the state of the Steam storefront. So I'm hoping all of this will just help make Steam that much better. I'm sincerely hoping that they're not just blowing hot air with all this, and that they're actually going to follow through with a bunch of these changes. If not these exact changes that they were talking about, then something very close or along the lines of what they want, and stuff that will hopefully work in making the curator system better and making the storefront full of less fake nonsense. And because of these changes to the curator system and the fact that Valve hasn't completely forgotten about them, I decided to start a curator myself. It's something that I've been wanting to do since I started my channel. I always thought it would be an interesting idea and a neat way to have some like mini reviews, but it had seemed like they forgot about it, so I didn't really want to waste my time. But if they're going to come back and make it bigger, better, faster, stronger, and just better in every way, then yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot. So I created a Steam curator. And if you want to follow it, you can go to steamcommunity.com/groups/ingeniousclowngaming #curation. There will be a link in the description below as well, so you can follow it there. And I'll be hoping to slowly update it as I play more games and as I dig up other games. I've already got a handful of reviews on there now, but I'm hoping it'll just continue to grow, and I'm hoping you guys will join and follow. But anyway, that's gonna have to do it for this video, guys. I just wanted to spread the good news about Steam, because I know not everybody follows TotalBiscuit or Jim Sterling, and even if you do, you probably didn't want to watch that specific video for whatever reason, but I just wanted to help disseminate the information. But I do recommend that you go and watch the original videos, because it's very interesting, it's very informative, and I find it pretty exciting. But anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you disliked it, you know what to do. And be sure to follow me on Twitter @ingeniousclown and hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming content here in the future, and I will see you next time. I sincerely hope that they're not... I can't speak.